Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going into the second map of Alternate Attax versus Forze. It's been a little bit of a wait. Supposedly there's been some technical issues. Obviously, Forze had some things to sort out after that previous map anyway, after things went a little bit pear-shaped. But we are now back and get to see whether or not Alternate Attax can get themselves through to the semi-final, or if we're heading to a third.
Pistol going to get started then. The A bomb site seemingly taken by the T side. First kill will come through for the CTs, but it's very quickly traded back, and now going to be difficult on the retake. I feel they do have a kit available, a couple flashes to work with, but very little information as to where these Ts are, and they've already gotten themselves in some really good post plants. Jerry with the one tap coming through on the Glock. They will get into an advanced position here, and Cressy taking matters into his own hands to pull the man advantage back in favour of the CTs right here. Someone is on the bomb, and it gets diffused. In fact, Stefan with the quick double isn't needed, but it certainly looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's Dude who does the heavy lifting, and by heavy lifting I mean the intricate defusal of the bomb, which the code hasn't changed for years, so I imagine it can't be that difficult to do at this point. It's more just about how quickly you can punch in the digits. Either way, T side once again, strong position, but ultimately thrown away, and now, well, they're just going to be left with a force into this round. They don't actually go for the sort of heavy investment we saw from them previously with the AK thrown into things. It's just going to be some D playing it a little bit safer, and they'll get a buy into the next round.
We'll see. I mean, they've already picked up the first kill. They've already picked up two, in fact. It's a recovery mission once again from the CTs. Still got Mantu in at CT. Quick flick. Again, looking crisp. He had a great first game. Not incredible, but certainly looked good in places. Moving in towards the site, though, I think they should be able to clean up pretty easily here. And dropping that M4 hopefully should stop any more shenanigans coming through. However, it's the old classic, you go A, I go B, as the bomb is making its way towards the B bomb site. Jerry peeks out at the perfect time to find another kill. So this is a lot of damage, and there's still now kind of a small window of opportunity for them to possibly take the round.
Yeah, basically if Stefan screws this up, that's the way they actually win this. Obviously, Forze still a little bit wary. They're going to try and fake this once again, with Jerry now pushing in towards the A site. Fact is, though, he's not actually going to see anyone, and that's a bit of a bummer, because he kind of wanted to. You want to have the players spot him out, rotate round, and pull players away from the bomb. He could sneak in towards the jungle, though, and now this does make things a little bit interesting. There's not that much time. He can't really afford to run. At the same time, he can't really afford to walk, because they don't have enough time to actually do the damage. It's more of a fake from Flit to try and bait him out. He's got to get himself onto the site, and that'll be him down, round over. Absolutely nothing they can do about that. And at least, well, that will be a rifle, 4 kills. Really not bad in the end, but ultimately still the round going the way of Alternate Attax.
Yeah, like you say, he was hoping to find that extra cheeky frag that would have allowed him to kind of pick things up and go barreling into the B-bomb site, try and go for the trade. It's just, again, timings and look not quite on their side towards the end. But, again, they can be very, very happy with how that went, because it was a hell of a lot of damage done coming into this first rifle round. As you can see, it's not looking too good for the CTs, and Forze trying to force the issue. Rushing down mid, able to pick up one. It's a fairly awkward fight for Face Crack, but they at least come out on top. Slacks, though, on... Oh, the scout! There's been some very quick flicks coming through so far. However, I think the T is going to come out on top of this one. They've got so much control, so much utility to work with, and just, you know, catching the CTs, again, with their pants down kind of situation, catching them off guard quite readily. And it will just be Dude remaining 1 versus 4, and he's already in the mindset of saving at this point. So a very quick first rifle round goes the way of Forze, kind of off the back of that close second round with the pistols.
Yeah, even still, bit of an upgrade. Flit, the low HP player, the one pushing, which may be a little bit of a mistake, obviously giving away that AK-47, now giving Dude a chance to do some extra damage. Going into the next round, of course, CT side, bare minimum amount of money. This AK save really would be valuable. Obviously, it's still just going to be more of a solitary hero. One man trying to do the damage in the next round. Just can't really expect much of a force. At the same time, if you are Alternate Attax, you kind of look at this and go, well, we're not getting a buy in the next round anyway. Do we invest into this one and go for something here?
Well, it does look like they're just kind of going to go... Okay, I was going to say halfway, but then again, they go all the way. So it's a bit of a difficult economic situation early on for alternate attacks. You know, with the early stages, it's very easy to lose control of that CT economy. And I like the idea from Stefan, but he's kind of on his own with the AK. Maybe if he had some pistols to play around also rushing up middle. It seemed like it was a bit of a last-minute decision from him. He's going to go down easily. So does Slacks. But Cressy's now gotten his hands onto an AK with armor quickly to follow, and a kill from Mantu that definitely should not have gone his way. Again, things looking dicey, but it looks like they're going to clean things up. Or are they? Still a deagle in play. Dude manages to find the head of one. The AK is dropped in at middle, and he will retrieve it. So a 1 versus 2. It's been a very quick, aggressive, very puggy, I think is safe to say, start to this game. But a 1 versus 2 that could really spin things on its head here. He has to find this first frag pretty quickly, though, and FaceCrack going to peek out at the perfect time. There's a bit of a double peek, I think, coming through. Unfortunately, you cannot fire at 2 targets at once, so they will manage to pick up their second on the side of Forze.
You, my friend, have clearly never used the PP Bison. You can shoot 7 targets at once and hit none of them. That's how that gun works. Or even if you do, they don't actually notice. It's sort of like being bitten by a bug. It's only when you look down that you realize you've actually been hit. Either way, just going to be a small investment from Mantu, looking like he's saving to get the AWP into the next round. And all in all, a pretty standard position there. There was a good opportunity, obviously, for alternate attacks in that round. And again, you sort of fear for Forze if those sort of rounds come that close. That was 1 AK that was initially dropped straight away. The rest of it, just some forced up pistols and almost putting a round win into the hands of alternate attacks. There were definitely some chances there for them to steal that round away. However, this round, not so much. 1 deagle, 4 USPs, no Kevlar, no nades. Pretty much nothing. Mantu might get a free kill here. That will be an AK again, falling into his hands, but, well, never mind. It doesn't actually reach the fingertips of Mantu, as it is just going to be FaceCrack pre-firing the window to the ladder room, and, well, already it's going to be right back into a 4v4.
Yeah, a really difficult one to escape from there. You're kind of trapped at perhaps the slowest you can possibly move in the game without stopping. So really not much you can do. Another couple kills going to come in pretty easily. The AK is going to be retrieved, though, and Cressy tries to take a fight. Doesn't work out, but it gives him the room to back away and probably save that into the next round. I think there is going to be a bit of a hunting party coming his way. But all the same, definitely got this opportunity, and the one-tap potential cannot be understated. And I think they are very apprehensive here on the T side, because again, the money's still not ideal. Not the best of nades. Oh, God.
What is this side? They're trying to get some minus failed. Utility damage.
I really don't know. What's going
I'm still on? Really. I think that should be a thing. Like how much team utility damage you do, or more so, I really wanted team flashes to be shown on the scoreboard. Just because I am a very salty CS player, and I want to be able to blame people when they blind me in my team.
Right.
You got me killed. The scoreboard said it.
Exactly. You've got to have like all the evidence to back it up.
Yeah. Obviously, I never throw bad flashbangs, so you know.
Right.
It would never happen to me.
Yeah, and it's never my fault that I get like one tapped or whatever.
No, I've never ever dropped the bomb in a stupid place. So none of these things ever happening when I play Counter-Strike.
Ooh, Mantu though, advanced position, does pretty well early on. Alternate attacks bouncing back pretty well here. So we've got pretty clean rifle round from both sides, to be fair. So this is as good a chance as any right now for the German side, and doing really well to take that mid control. They've lost 1 player, but they act very, very swiftly off of Mantu's pick, and Cressy in with the 2K at the end. A very fast round once again, but alternate attacks work that man advantage, and some great plays in middle to secure their third.
Yep, still money will be there for the T side to purchase back into this round, and actually it's going to be an almost flawless buy. I was going to say it's a bit dicey, but obviously FaceCrack having a little bit of extra cash will help them out significantly. And well, we now sit pretty much in the reset round. The chance for either side to send the opponent's economy packing. Obviously the CT side more recently losing rounds will help them a little bit, but not really much to write home about. Well, already an early trade. Almeza also taking a hefty bit of early damage. 30 kills in the last game, but he was on 29 at 12-11, and it pretty much slipped out of their control once he stopped fragging. Slack's just about getting away with a kill onto that said player from Forze. Still, though, 3 players left. Heaps of utility for Jerry. The rest of the team fairly bare bones, and well, XC Power, I feel like I've seen him get more P250 kills than AWP kills in the last few, in the last map and this. He's been struggling a bit. He's hit some flashy shots, but missed a lot as well.
Yeah, consistency seemingly an issue as it can always be for players like this, where a lot of pressure on them coming into a pretty important series. Obviously, you know, not... I'll hold the thought, because he does find a nice shot there onto Slack. So now a 1 versus 2. We'll see where he decides to take this bomb. As at the moment, the CTs are split, so you can definitely isolate the 1 versus 1s, which is pretty much ideal right now for him.
The thing is, though, he's got the worst weapon possible for what he's about to try and do. Man 2 currently up in the palace. Oh, is he going to check it? You genius. He read that one absolutely perfect. And XC Power, P250 in hand, is now set to take this round. What a beast of a play. When I saw that player up in palace, I thought he's absolutely screwed. Instead, read that nigh on perfectly. And, yeah, that was fantastic. It is weird to me, though. So they've replaced Little with... Well, not replaced directly, obviously. There's been a few iterations of this team, but he is now the primary upper for this team. Little was a man who I pretty much remembered. He only played 2 weapons, an AWP and the P250. XC Power seems to be a beast with both. It's like they've maybe just name change, just got a little bit of plastic surgery. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen them in the same room?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I, so I know of. It's brilliant. But yeah, it should be a fairly simple one here. Just the fast A stack, fast B take. Ooh. Spicy. See if they find anything off the back of this here. I don't think so. I mean, it's not bad damage, right?
That's pretty damn good considering what they had into that round. Like, to get that many kills and leave only 2 players standing. T-side still have to buy up quite a few weapons. All the money they would have made from what should have been a very, very easy round has now gone. Like, in fact, it's only XC Power with any catch. I imagine this is all spawn based. Yeah, Flip, very good spawn for middle. So he's actually going to take the face. No one peeking initially. The flashbang's there and instead face crack just pops the head of Slacks early on. Cressy will be there to trade. Flip. He's still got that AWP. I don't think he wanted this anymore. This was not part of the plan. He wanted to get the opening. Excuse me. He's going for jumping AWP shots. Maybe it's just the giant decoy play where he's playing the ultimate distraction by doing things that are clinically insane. And instead, XC Power is just popping heads with the AK-47. This is something that was not in Little's arsenal. He was not a very good rifler, I have to admit. Or at least not as good as XC Power's been in this round.
Stefan as well made quick work of a beautiful round comes through. They don't want the double AWP setup on the T side, so he will stick to the AK, probably swap things across here as Flit really, like you say, did not want that AWP at all. But yeah, I think this seems to be, you know, coming into Mirage, they've picked up on, again, the more kind of puggy style that they seem to like to go for on their T side, where it didn't really work out for them most of the time on Overpass, because it's not a map that hands itself to that style very readily. Mirage, with the state that it's in, you know, the fact that it's not been changed for so very long, teams are so used to it and can play it very aggressively, and you know, 1 or 2 players can take control of the T side, especially if given the chance. So I think alternate attacks very quickly need to realize that raw firepower, raw 1 versus 1's not going to be the way that they win things out. They need some, you know, coordinated aggression in middle, or they need some nice crossfires, some nice setups on the sites, rather than just playing Forze at their own game. Because as we can see, they're gonna get walked all over. These past 4 or 5 rounds have been very fast.
Yeah, the other thing to mention as well is this is pretty much Forze's, I would say, best and most played map. Obviously, Inferno statistically is better, but they played a lot more Mirage. up until they played Avantgarde, like last week or so, they had an 8-win streak on this map. Like, this is not a place you want to be playing Forze on. So, yeah, obviously a map that also, like, it is played by alternate Attax. Like, they have a reasonable amount of maps in it themselves, but not a good win rate. And I never really saw them taking this one in the series. It was more of a sort of like, okay, they managed to take the first one. Maybe they'll be able to drag it through on the second, but at the looks of it so far, this is just more falling into what we expected. Forze looking dominant. Not so much in this round. Back into a 3v3. At least a closer scenario. A possibility for them here. Still a long, long way to go.
Yeah, with the bomb going down as well, it's going to be difficult. Need to find this frag. Nice initiative from Slacks, though. Gets aggressive and very lucky, you know, that no one was peeking around. They're holding very passive positions here on the T side. Almaza, though, will peek out, picks up one, but tagged down very low. This nade could be his end. Not quite. 3 damage. Always questionable, those nades. Flip, though, with the off angle here. Catches off Stefan, and Dude's going to get caught with the nade out. And the 2K comes in the end. Forze going to get that 8th round. It did for just a second. You know, looks slightly doable, but again, just kind of panicking and falling flat to the aggression that Forze, the confidence that Forze seem to be fighting with here on Mirage.
Well, we are going to see a pause called now. Obviously, in this sort of circumstance, alternate Attax still just going to be playing with pistols. We'll give them a bit of a chance to coordinate their attack, but ultimately still expecting the T's to take this round. Been fairly close a lot of the time in terms of the last few. Like, there's been opportunities like 3v3s, 2v2s for alternate Attax to make work, but it has been Forze in these clutch situations, these sort of, well, I suppose lone player situations that have been performing much, much better. And while now look towards alternate Attax to try and make some sort of play. Got plenty of deegs going forward into this one. I almost wonder if it would be time to try and drag out the double orb setup. Like we saw that thrown in on Overpass as well, with Man2 and Slacks both having an AWP in hand. I think it's even more viable on this map, so I'd be surprised if we don't see it at some point. And actually both players with a reasonable amount of Kasha and no Kevlar, so maybe the next strategy in line. However, this round is going to be a troublesome one.
Yeah, I mean, kind of to be expected, although Stefan does find one. It's a pretty easy take onto A, though. Forze just looking to lock the round up, flash towards CT, gaining a bit more control. And now just need to pop some heads. Flit tries, doesn't quite land it yet. Gonna go for it again, but can't really see through the fire that he's just thrown down. But at the very least, he's, you know, holding them back, and I think as the time ticks on, things can get very difficult indeed. Deeg spam. Oh, and Dude with a nice Juan Deeg. But I think the time a bit too far gone, but it's some great damage. Man2 is going to creep in to try and find his final kill, and XE power is pretty low. A recovered AK now as well. The round is gone, but the more damage done is always good. However, he's not going to find the kill. Or is he trying to rotate back around towards CT? But no, just kind of passively, half-assedly going for it, and it will be a 9th round for Forze. But again, some really great damage for alternate Attax. However, kind of getting to that stage of damage is nice, but you need to be winning rounds.
Yeah, especially with the new economy system, you can't really be getting away with having 4 or 5 rounds on really any map anymore. It's very difficult to sort of drag things through, but that's one hell of a way to start things off. The double AWP setup in play. 6 rounds definitely workable. Obviously, that's the max they can achieve, and well, already 2 kills, 2 AWP kills. Those AWPs are doing work for alternate Attax.
Ooh. Face crack, missing out on what could have been an important kill. A questionable Molotov, but it's okay. Not the end of the world. Dude really wants to go for a peek here. I can feel it. XE power is so unlucky. Almost catching Stefan reloading, walking up short. With some great angles here on B as they will just rip it apart. Picked apart by the CT side. A great round coming in from them, pretty much flawless.
Yeah, I definitely think that the switch to the double AWP was needed, especially in such a sort of puggy matchup. Like, the second those two players go down, in my mind, the round's pretty much over, unless someone like Power pulls out clutch. And to be fair, he put himself in the right position. Unfortunately, just didn't connect the shot up close, and that was enough to put the round to bed. Either way, another pause is going to be called. Tees can still buy into this one, but it's getting a little bit dicey on their side, and the last round of the half might end up with some severe financial problems for the T's. And all in all, a 9-6 half, considering how things have gone for alternate Attax, really wouldn't be that bad to be able to drag it back from this position. Either way, this round at least, there's definitely going to be a buy-in. Face crack going to be dropped down to a Mac 10. Could have got an AK, but wanted the extra utility instead. So maybe going to go for a bit more of an A setup. Just try and burst out. Obviously, he can be a bit more of a decoy, a run and gun, try and catch the orb, catch one of the players down, go for a quicker play. And at least for now, it's going to be more of a waiting game. Wait for a lot of that utility to fade. CT side, though, they will be given pretty much full mid control, and this more depends on how aggressive they're going to be. They could find out pretty much all of the information before the push comes in, but by the looks of things, the T's are going to go very fast, and there is that run and gun. Mac 10 already finding dude. I think the CTs might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, quite possibly. They're going to very quickly try and recover things back. Great angle found by Mantu just as that smoke looks to dissipate. So they will bring it back into a 4 versus 4 here on the retake. A very quick flank coming in from Almeza, though, might not be expected. And some pretty decent post-plant positions as well. They really need to be hearing this, watching out for this. There you go, Slacks does spot it, but gets taken down. Now they've got to deal with this flanker as he picks up another. Will eventually get dealt with. Cressy, meanwhile, taking matters into his own hands, done a lot of damage, finds another kill. But are they going to be expecting Flit? No, they are not, and he will find both. The double spray down comes in, as it's another crazy kind of round, but Forze again coming out on top of the chaos to pick up their 10th.
Well, it is going to be a 10th round, as you said. Double digits on the board for Forze, and double AWPs still in for the CT side, pulling those back out for another effort. Obviously fairly successful in the round. They managed to steal away, but well, really, they should have stolen away a second. The T's just about scraping through that one with Flip. Leading the way, and speaking of leading the way, right in towards that B side he goes, hoping to steal away a frag, maybe get a trade and split the defense. Instead, he goes down, but luckily the dunk will remove dude. And that 4v4, make that 4v3 ensues.
Well then. Just kind of seems every now and then alternate Attax, they get a bit of a read. They do manage to figure out what is going on, but then Forze just, you know, keeping that foot on the gas, the Americans would say. And just kind of walking all over in most of the rounds. 11-4 coming through as the final kill will be pretty simple towards the end, and it looks like here we're going to Inferno is all I'm saying. It's going to need an incredibly good T half, and for me, I feel like it was the CT side that alternate Attax excelled on over on Overpass. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them for sure.
Yeah, 11-4 comebacks, pretty much, I don't want to say extinct, but very rare at this point, especially on a map like Mirage. The problem being that the whole real way that you would do it is obviously you'd go on a round of streaks, your opponent will win one, you'd reset them. Now, not really possible. If you streak a few rounds together, their economy starts to build up, and well, basically you're just fighting against buy after buy and trying to deny Forze only managing to get 5 rounds, which is fairly difficult nowadays. So we'll see. Maybe alternate Attax can pull something out of the bag and really show us a stellar T side. The problem is, I just wouldn't like to be the person fighting up against CIS CT sides. And we saw it with Vegas Squadron initially, with just the sheer level of aggression that they would pull in, like fighting for middle, taking control, removing a portion of the map away from you completely. And the second that starts to happen, you've lost. Like, you've got to be ready to counter. You've got to be ready to switch up your strats and pretty much either fight them, like, head to head, or work out a way that you can give up portions of the map and still win the round, be it like a fast setup in towards the rest of the site. So, yeah, definitely going to be troublesome for alternate attacks, but I don't know. I've been impressed, at least on Overpass, with the initial T setups they had, and they managed to pull off 7 rounds. 11, quite a bit of a difference, though.
Well, we are about to find out. Can alternate attacks step up to the plate? We are not so hopeful for them, but maybe they can give us a competitive end to this second map for sure. We shall have to see. Exi Power, interesting buy, just the smoke and nothing else. Jerry had already got the kit, maybe a bit of confusion with that. Maybe a tactical economic decision so he can get the AWP out as early as possible. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we've got smoke and a Molotov. So some interesting kind of utility choices, that is for sure. But ultimately, not a great deal happening here in the first 30 seconds or so of the round. Maybe spoke too soon. Is Exi Power going to be forced out of window by the Molotov and a deep smoke into connector? Gives them a lot of options. You know, they could walk through it, they could boost up window, they could move towards short. It's quite a good little smoke. It looks like they are going to go rushing through it. Facecrack is here to wait for them. A 1-for-1 trade. Certainly going to do well for the T side. But now got to be careful not to get too greedy for the frags.
Well, patience from the CTs as they do wait for that flank to get ready. Amaze catches Cressy running, and that will actually give a little bit of a sort of doubt in the mind of Man2. He'll be caught out from CT instead. The flank on the flanker comes in, and Amaze has actually definitely clicked the wrong button there. He's got a little bit lucky. He was taken off the silencer. It won't matter in the end, and Slack's just going to run away to try and save his Kevlar for the next round. But that was very close to being just, wow, one of the most awful mistakes you can make. That little bit of a right click, and you start taking that silencer off your USP.
Yeah, when you're spamming so hard, sometimes you just kind of slapping your hand on the mouse. But it's okay.
We play Counter-Strike very differently.
No,
I've got the image. You just like.
I'm just.
Bongo no like mouse. Me hit hard.
I don't know. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not really sure why that comes in. That's all I'm saying.
Basically,
anyway, we've got Forze by here.
Counter-Strike is watching a monkey open a coconut. Is that what you're trying to say?
Listen, kind of. A few of my friends are watching. You know, they can attest. Oh, okay. We've been chatting though, and Facecrack just comes in from underpass, picks up a very quick spin around 180. Get to 2.
Oh, get out. Goodbye.
What's going on? We've had some mental moments in this round so far.
Yeah, this is a problem now for the CT side. They've got 2 low players, a scout and Exi Power, and 2 weapons now retrieved for alternate attacks. They went for a bit of a risky force going into this round. We talked about the sort of AK buys going in early, once you get the bomb down. Slacks has put another to the, well, sort of funeral. And while there's only going to be 2 remaining. Sneaky push from Exi Power. A scout there is really not going to be useful for you. And now Jerry caught in a clutch. Bomb going down on B. He's got this completely wrong. I think Slack's getting 2 kills on this side of the map, gave him a bit of a false positive, and well, he'll be added to the body pile. It will be a triple for him. 12-5 as alternate attacks give themselves a tiny lifeline. Dude's picked up an XM. I'm not sure that's the weapon he wanted to find when rummaging for scraps. We'll see if he can make some money with it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit harder on the T side, but you never know. Put in the right scenario, the right situation, you might be able to. And up against the pistols, I guess. A little bit easier to close the gap, but then if he faces off against a Deagle or even a 5.7 or a P250, got a bit of an advantage. Jerry and Cressy trying to spot each other on the edge of the smoke. Not quite going to work out for either of them, though. Well, the CT is opting to go for an A-stacks. I mean, in a round like this, why not? You know, you've only got a few pistols and armor on quite a lot of players, actually. So they walk into this stack. It could go south very, very quickly. But the T's playing it well, playing it smart, keeping track of the economy again. Just waiting patiently for a bit of aggression for the first minute or so. Nothing coming, and now they're going to try and move in as a team to a bomb site, and it does look like they want to go towards A. So this is about to get very, very dangerous for them if they're not able to rip this apart. And I think the A bomb site of Mirage, it's a difficult one.
Connector, the XM.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is the best scenario for it, but sort of walking up backwards.
Well, yeah, I think he was screwed from the get-go there. Lots of connector control. Molotov underneath should make things very difficult for Jerry.
Oh god.
Actually, he gets away with it. He goes through the flames, jumps up and down the XM, bites them in the bum. It is going to be face crack getting another. I don't know how they get away with that. Madness. But hey, 13-5. A great little stat coming in from Forze. And, well, panic mode now for alternate attacks. Force buy once again. 2 AKs, some Deegs. It's not a pretty buy.
No, it really isn't, and it's an awkward one, you know, kind of moving in towards A, get the utility out at the wrong time, and just overwhelmed by the stack, as we kind of saw coming into the prophecy, I suppose. But we'll see what they can do with this. I mean, this is similar to the round that they won previously, a bit of utility over towards A, a few AKs to work with, now 3 that they've recovered that one back, and the crack in the smoke does not work out for Exi Power. 5 versus 3 very quickly in favor of the T side, and I think with their economy, yeah, you can kind of see the body language looking to back away. Facecrack reckons he could maybe do something, but yeah, they're not going to commit too heavily to it. It will be another round for alternate attacks. It's difficult because, again, as I mentioned on the first map, these types of rounds you play a bit looser, and all of a sudden things go your way, but as soon as you go into a more structured style, it's just not working for you. So it's hard to say whether this is going to be the start of the comeback or not, especially with 3 weapons. Okay.
Oh god.
Especially with 3 weapons saved. And the XM10 finally goes down. Rest in peace.
Although, our Mesa, 2,650. I know what that's the exact money for. He doesn't buy it though. I'm disappointed. Buy a Mag 7 instead. Ah, you don't know. You don't know the way of the mag. $1,300 now. It's worth it. 2 kills and you've made profit. That's the way I'm looking at it. Already. Face crack again. Jerry with the 5-7. Can't get anything more, but 2 kills will do. XC Power, he's got a glass cannon orb. They're not going to expect down the cross. This is just horrible. And well, dude, he had no ammo. Oh no, he needed a double 1D there just to get out of it. Somehow does manage to get himself a kill, but even still, 14-6. This game is an absolute cluster, and you know what the next word was meant to be, but it's something I can't say on stream.
Yeah, indeed. I'm tempted to do it backwards, but if I screw it up, do you know what I mean?
Just fudge.
No, like a...
no, I know what you were going to say, but...
Yeah, right. I mean, that works, right? That works. But, yeah, you get the idea. I think Clown Fiesta is kind of the safer way of saying
you could say thing. Sugar Honey Iced Tea went down.
Yeah, it did. That's certainly the quality of the CS towards the end of this one, to be honest with you. Brutally honest, but
genuinely stole that joke from the film Madagascar. So
hey, that is fine. We've got the classic from Spy Kids, shiitake mushrooms.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
That's also from Austin Powers as well, though.
Ah, right. Okay, fair enough. That's my bad. I was a bigger fan of Spy Kids, I guess. It's stuck in my head. Oh god. I don't know, man. It's some of these moments, some of these rounds do look straight out of an Esea pug. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely scary stuff for alternate attacks, especially going into this third map. I think Forze are going to have so much momentum.
Oh,
that is.
You almost have to feel bad for Mr. Man too in that situation.
Salt in the wound.
Wrecked by what is almost definitely an accidental one-way smoke. Not much you can do about that one. But, yeah, T-side, they've still got the 2 AKs. One of them onto an unarmored player, which is obviously a problem. It means aim punch is definitely going to be a factor, although I fear with the AUGs, the chances are he's going to get one shot. And the position of Dude over towards the ramp, he's going to be running in towards that AWP, but actually, it is going to be the kill coming. Oh, is he going to get ruined by the... Oh, that's just unlucky. Obviously, no armor for Dude, so the MP9 absolutely ruined him.
Well, it seems we are going to get a bit of a speedy anticlimactic end to this second map. In all honesty, unless they can pull something out of the bag again on the alternate attacks side of things. But I don't know. I'm not too hopeful. We'll see. They've got some utility. They seem to have a bit of a game plan for the B hit. Might work out for them. But at this point in time, it's certainly looking easier said than done. Flick going to find the first kill pretty quickly, and the rest of the team seeming to rush straight into the bloodbath. Flit and Almazo with a great little crossfire, just going to rip everything apart. Mantu the only one left. And a 1 versus 5, I think, with the way that things have been going, certainly out of the question.
Ooh.
We'll find the first, though. He's always good with that Beagle, but unfortunately, it will be at the end. So, a very decisive second map coming in. I think Forze, you know, a lot more comfortable, it looked like, on Mirage, to be honest, especially on that T side. Able to play their over-aggressive kind of style. And this time it worked out a bit better for them and not as many mistakes from them either in their game plan.
Yeah, it's their strongest map, or at least one of them, and the next is going to be coming up, which will be Inferno. Obviously, more of a middle ground in the sense that both teams are good at this map, or it's one of their better maps. At the same time, Forze have been pretty much unbeatable at it recently, so we'll be able to see if they are going to complete the turnaround, or if alternate attacks are going to take this 2-1. We'll be back after the break.